What's up, guys? It's your boy Krack'N, and I'm super excited about this video because I have two cars right behind me. And you might be thinking, Jeremy, where's Krack'N? Because that's obviously not Krack'N. She's right here. This is going to be a video comparing the N-Line on my left and the N on the right, because there is still people that get the two confused. But first, I have to give a very huge shout out to Twin Pine Ford here in Ephrata, Pennsylvania, as well as Jack and Xavier, I believe I got the names right, for setting me up to do both of these cars today and get you a stock versus stock comparison between these two cars and give you a full comprehensive guide, because there's still people that get confused on them. Now, if you guys don't already know about the Kona and what it is, I'm just going to give you a quick overview. It is Hyundai's second smallest crossover that slots just above the Venue and is the first Hyundai model and the cheapest to get the availability of all-wheel drive. Now, we'll go through the differences a little bit deeper here in a second, but man, I'm so excited to actually have these two next to each other. So with the Hyundai brand, they have different levels of their cars. They have just the standard models, then they have the N-Line, and then they have the N. Now, the N-Line is technically a sport-oriented trim, but it's only pretty much cosmetics and maybe some extra power, just a little bit, compared to the standard variants. But when we talk about the N, that is where all the performance goodies come in. But let's go ahead and let's talk about the differences in the cosmetics, because Hyundai's N-Line is a lot different than the N's. So starting up front, we're going to talk about the N-Line first. As you guys can see, there's a difference in the headlights. This one has halogen projector headlights, and it's all halogen, except for up here where this is your daytime running light. Your turn signal is down here compared to up here on the N's. In addition, on the N, these are LED reflector headlights compared to the halogens, as I mentioned. The grille is also different. You can see the Hyundai badge is chrome compared to the dark chrome here. And the grille design is a little bit different compared to the N. And in addition, the big change in the front here, other than the red trim, is the mesh pattern below. So we're gonna walk around the N here to go over the side differences here. The first ones are obviously the wheels. These are 19 by 7.5 wheels with 235 wide tires. And behind them are N branded calipers that actually come off a Palisade. They're 14.2 inches in the front and 12.4 in the back. And they have their own specific N branded caliper, and they're also painted red. In addition, you have the red striping down below, except for the red vehicles, because those go silver. And you also will have black mirror caps, but you obviously can't see it because this one's black. Now when we go over to the N-Line here, you have an N-Line badge on the fender, which is a big difference, and these wheels are actually 18 inches, and they are also 235 wide tires. And again, you don't have the colored piece on the bottom, and you also don't have the N stamped into the side skirt. All right, so walking around the back here, I have the two staggered here, so I'm gonna try to actually keep them both in frame. But the N-Line has its own specific rear design compared to the N, but it takes a lot of the N-inspired elements and throws them onto this car here. So I'm just gonna walk over to it here real quick. You can see it's got the standard wing type spoiler that is on all the Konas except for the N. Then you have the 1.6T and all-wheel drive badge if you have that equipped. Now your actual lights in the back here are all halogen, including your brake lights. Down below, you have a little bit more of an aggressive rear bumper, but you don't get the rear diffuser that is super aggressive, nor do you get the dual single tip exhaust that is found on the N with these gargantuan 5-inch tips. That's what she said. And in addition, this trim right here is actually plastic compared to body color on the N. Here's a better look at that N wing type spoiler here. You can see it's kind of like a deck lid and it has a little bit of a curvature in the inside. And truthfully, this spoiler looks so good on the back of this car. Let's go ahead and jump inside both of these cars because there's a lot of interior differences between the two. All right, so we're gonna go take a hop inside and tell you all the differences there because there is a lot more differences there as well. And we're gonna start in the N-Line here. So all the N's have keyless access with remote start, as well as Hyundai digital key. Now I believe that the N-Line gets the digital key on the tech package equipped cars. So I'll have to double check and make sure. So immediately, first things first, you get the lower steering wheel. Now this is actually the steering wheel out of the Kona Night Edition, except it has the dark finish here as well as the M badge and red stitching with perforations right there. These seats are also cloth, but they do have the little N embroidery in it. And I really like this two-tone kind of gray and red stitching here. And jumping inside this one, there's the difference here with the air vent here. And your traction control button is right here. Now fully jumping inside, again, same gauge cluster, same infotainment. But this one actually comes with a standard audio system. It doesn't come with the Harman Kardon or the Infinity, which is quite surprising. You still get the same automatic single zone climate control. There's more of the red accenting. Another bit of red accenting there. You still get the wireless charger as well. And right there is your all-wheel drive lock, which is actually a clicker button. You get a standard, just regular rip-it handbrake instead of the hand-stitched one. And also, the center dash piece right here is actually hard touch here. On the ends, it is actually soft touch. Now, you will also see another thing that the ends will not come with. You can't even option it. This one has the single pane sunroof. And truth be honest, I kind of like not having the sunroof because I don't want to worry about the the drains clogging up. And there's your sunroof control switch right here. Oh, I forgot to mention. Same thing as my Night Edition. It is hard touch right here, and I really don't like that. Let's go ahead and let's pop the two hoods because that's where the next huge difference is. All right, so both of the hoods are open, and you can easily tell the difference just by the look of it. But we'll start off with the N-Line here. This one comes with a 1.6 liter turbocharged four-cylinder that makes 195 horsepower and 195 pound-foot of torque. It's also hooked up to a D7 UF1 7-speed dry dual clutch automatic, whereas the N comes with a 2 liter turbocharged four-cylinder. This one's G4KH, and this one makes 276 horsepower or 286 with NGS active and 289 pound-feet of torque. It's also hooked up to a D8F48W 8-speed wet type dual clutch automatic, and it's specifically tuned for the N model. Now you can see it's got pretty much the exact same intake system, except this one is a little bit smaller. And in addition, this one's also much easier to access everything in the engine bay compared to this one where the blow-off valve is literally all the way down there. And the turbo is like stuffed way back in there compared to this one where actually it's a little bit more stuffed back in there. You don't get hood struts on either car, which personally I think that they should come on the ends because of just how much you're paying, but that's just my opinion. So I forgot to make an outro for this one. I was going to put the driving impressions and stuff in there between the two cars, but recently there was something that I had to do to get rid of one car. And yeah, so that will be coming in a future upload, but I guess I'm going to have to end it here. So I'll see you guys later. And also news, both the N-Line and the N did sell. So unfortunately they're no longer available, especially the N, but it is what it is. Krack'N out. Peace.